From the flaming wreckage of the record industry arise the Grimm generation. Carmen Champagne and Jason P. Krug met for one date, thought better of it, so instead co-authored a book, Say Anything, Dispatches on Lust, Love, Lust, and Longing from the Grimm Generation. One night, Jason dropped by with an acoustic in hand, convinced Carmen to sing. In the post-apocalyptic pop stars, the Grimm Generation was born. The Grimm Generation design is simple. One guitar, two singers. The hook comes in, the confessions, the loud and public sharing of their perception of modern love, told over tunes based on blues and country and glam and show music, which equals rock and roll, featuring emotionally wrung-out vocals, leaving no doubt that these are real moments, captured, reshaped, and harmonized with. The Grimm Generation hail from the suburbs of the Northeast, USA, and have been compared to Lou Reed, X, and The Doors. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive.
Thank you.
How long have you been playing together?
We started in 2009 at the end.
Well, actually, again, we met and started writing before we ever decided to put a band together. So we met in 2007. 2007. But the Grimm Generation didn't start until to the end of 2009, beginning of 2010. We met and we realized one of the things that we had in common was we had like similar points of view in terms of perception, modern relationships, things like that. And the more that we kept writing, the shorter our pieces I got, the more direct emotionally they got. And once they got to the point where they were about pop length, 3 minutes 30 seconds, then it was time to start a band. So we've been doing it since about the beginning of 2010.
Yeah.
And it's been quite a ride. It's been quite an interesting year and a half or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Awesome. And you're from the Connecticut area?
Yeah, we live in Windsor.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hope you had a nice little ride out here.
We did. Yeah.
We had AC.
Appreciate you guys putting the heat on for us. It was.
You know,
it was
I was
awesome.
outside today and I was thinking, you know that feeling you get in the middle of winter when you want to bake some cookies to get warmed up? and you get that dry, warm heat coming off the oven, and it's like you just stand there for a couple of minutes. That's what it felt like today, standing outside.
Sure did.
Yeah, I did the most appropriate thing you could do for weather like this, which is lock yourself into a tiny, dark apartment and watch John Waters films. To the point where I felt like I was literally going to explode in flame. Because,
Yikes.
I mean, I like John Waters, but those films get a little claustrophobic, and when the temperature hits 103 out, well, that's not good for anybody.
No. Which John Waters film did you watch?
Watched Hairspray, Pink Flamingos, and I got about halfway through Pink Flamingos. I'm familiar with Pink Flamingos. I'm familiar with the work of Pink Flamingos. So
I've never seen it, but I've heard bad stories.
Oh, it's special.
It's very special. All right, let's start off with a live song here from the Grimm Generation. What do you want to do right now?
We're going to start off with what is the opening cut on our debut CD, the last record party.
Yep.
And
it's a song called Sometimes I'm Subtle, Sometimes I'm Drunk.
Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Watch the love story. Watch the whole picture. Unsnap the buttons. Brush out this tangled fray. It makes no sense to keep on dying. Might as well keep lying. Read your sweet nothings. Make brand new marks with your pen. It's about a boy and a girl wrung themselves out, spread out on the ground, still keep on trying. Bad men in the yellowed hallways, colorful girls in high-heeled shoes, jump without parachutes.
And it's just like everyone else. Just make your selection.
Pack up your records in the old car trunk. Dirty mermaid radio signal bumping, bumping. Sometimes I'm subtle, Sometimes I'm drunk, but you'll never know what's what. Bad men in the yellowed hallways, colorful girls in high-heeled shoes, jump without parachutes.
And it's just like everyone else. Just make your selection.
Pack up the records in your old car trunk. Dirty Mermaid radio signal bumping, bumping. Sometimes I'm subtle, sometimes I'm drunk. You'll never know what's what. You'll never know what's what.
You'll never know what's what.
You'll never know what's what. What? Thank you.
Excellent. Beautiful. That was an awesome song. Did you tell us about the song before we started?
No, actually, so
I have
that
no
song,
memory.
again, that was the intro. Traditionally, when we started off, it was just Carmen and I, and me playing guitar, both of us singing. But when we made the last record party, which was our debut CD, we decided to bring in a bunch of friends from other bands. So when you listen to the opening song on the CD, there's trumpets, there's fanfare, there's guitars, electric, acoustic. I mean, it's a grand rock and roll statement. But that was a song that originally came from Miss Carmen Champagne,
Yeah.
who came up with the sentiment. I don't know how.
Yeah, sometimes I'm subtle, sometimes I'm drunk. It's something that came to me one day when I thought, it's that line you cross when you've had that one too many drinks and you do things that you may not necessarily do when you haven't had that one drink over the line. And,
So it's a grand rationalization for all people who have that one drink, because at a certain point it could just be like, I'm sorry, sometimes I'm subtle, sometimes I'm drunk, you know. So we're trying to make it the official excuse of Rhode Island for the year 2011.
And remember, folks, if you ever find yourself in that position, call a taxi.
That's correct.
That's right.
We have to do a public service announcement every now and then here.
Drink responsibly, listen responsibly.
Yeah, the first part was our version of a public service announcement, but yours was probably more appropriate.
Carmen, were you doing anything musically before Jason came along?
This is my first venture musically. What I did before, I've always written, and I was doing a lot of spoken word stuff, and so this was my first venture in the music business, aside from playing rock band with my kids.
Yeah. I always love playing rock band. That's about as musical as I can get. So this is your first CD. Did you do all the work yourself go to a record studio or?
Oh yeah, actually, we came up with the arrangements with ourselves and with the musicians, but we did all the recording at Treehouse Studios, which is actually Chris Wineland's studio out of Stores. Chris Wineland and actually a bunch of the guys from Bud Collins Trio sat in on the record and spent a lot of time with us in terms of trying to figure out how exactly the sound's going to go, the arrangement. And Chris, I've known Chris for a number of years now. He's
a
cool
lot
cat.
of fun.
Yeah, he's a scamp, is what he is.
Definitely.
But we were also very pleased to get Eric and Chris Dewars from Bud Collins also to sit in on the record. So we did everything with Chris Wineland out in Stores. Yeah, and it was a great
Excellent.
experience.
And how about all the distribution or cutting the CDs?
That we're doing independently. We had a house do up the initial run of the CDs, and then when we're done with those, we're going to reorder them and do that. So everything else we're doing is completely independent.
And we've had some EPs out that we've released as well, and that we've done all ourselves. That's all do-it-yourself. And we put out 3 EPs as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're working hard.
Always.
Yeah.
You have day jobs too?
We have, and we will again. But this summer has definitely been something where, I mean, the economy speaks louder than all of us, and so you have a couple of options that you can do. I mean, at a certain point, you could just sort of, be frustrated, and at another point, you get to work.
And we work
so
hard.
We got to work.
All right. Well, what's the next song would you like to do for us?
We're going to be doing Nothing Astral, which is also on the last record party. And yeah, it's a song that Jason and I both wrote actually on our front porch.
Yep.
And it's about a summer night.
Yep.
Excellent. Let's check it out.
The singing chain, angles in the sand, headlights into oblivion. It's a fine night to make a stand, to mean something to someone, something good, something not. Where a quick study, there's nothing astral going on. It's the car radio, catching us up on the weather changing, forecast for humidity, and that's wide ranging. Strange as it seems, there's nothing here that we don't need. The night is cold and on fire, there's nothing astral going on, nothing astral going on. Time speeds till your next kiss, pulled apart by your fingertips. Sparks are flying, mistaken for stars. This glimmer's only ours. The tires on the road crack out a code. We're hardwired, aiming low. Take advantage of luck and persuasion. We're a slow lesson. There's nothing astral going on, nothing astral going on. Time speeds till your next kiss, pulled apart by your fingertips. Sparks are flying, mistaken for stars. This glimmer's only ours. This glimmer's only ours. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We need more people down here to start clapping.
It gets so lonely just clapping each of the two of us.
So, I mentioned in your intro that you've been compared to Lou Reed, X, and The Doors. Some great bands right there. What are some of your influences other than that? I mean, what's your inspiration to when you're writing some songs?
Well, I mean, what's interesting is, I mean, my influences come from a lot more sort of confessional acoustic music. Like for me, the be all and end all is the Mountain Goats, but also I was raised on Elvis Costello. I was also raised on Black Sabbath. So our influences, if I had to define where our influences come from, it's radio rock. It's growing up in the age of classic rock radio, where you would hear Steely Dan and Led Zeppelin, where you would hear Rod Stewart's Faces, Rod Stewart, mixed in with, I mean, Boston, you know. And I think sort of what's considered classic rock radio is something that was on every station when we were growing up. So when we say something like The Doors, I'm personally not a huge Doors fan, but there's absolutely no way in the world that I could deny that part is in us, because it was in my listening, you know. I mean,
Right.
I'm a
grew up
Doors
with it.
fan.
She's a Doors fan.
What'd you think of Ian Astbury when he did the reunion tour with The Doors?
Oh gosh.
Did you see him?
Yeah, no, I didn't see him. No.
Oh.
Was it good? Did you go?
No, but I mean, have you heard any of it? When no.
No.
Wow. He did it for a few years. They were on tour and they came out with. I'm not sure if they came out with an album, but
I remember when they did the first show with that, when they had the kid from Days of the New did the vocals, who I mentioned on Intervention, and then there was, I love Intervention, and then there was Ian Astbury did it, and then actually a couple other, I don't think they actually went so far as to have Eddie Vedder do it, but I mean, but a couple of others. And Ian Astbury, I mean, was such a perfect choice for that. You know, aside from the fact that he's like 5 foot, you know, which is, I mean, how high can your platform boots be? You know, aside from the fact he was 5 foot, I thought he was like, you know, vocally just a killer choice for that. And also stylistically, he always sort of mined that, even when the Cult came out with, you know, the first couple of records, he always sort of mined that Native American vibe that Jim Morrison sort of skewed towards, you know, from the middle towards the end.
Yeah.
So I thought he was like a perfect choice. And then Ray Manzarek also, I mean, the way things connect, Ray Manzarek was also produced the first X album. And I mean, and we're both very huge X fans. So like listening to X's version of Soul Kitchen with John Doe and Exene singing Soul Kitchen. I mean, it's the cross pollination is sort of the short version of where we come from.
Right.
Did you ever get into the Knitters?
Yeah.
Oh, Poor Little Critter in the Road.
Yeah.
Love the Knitters.
I love that song.
Yeah, me too, man. Oh, I love the Knitters. Yeah, yeah. I mean, what sort of started me in this direction, because I played with a couple of rock bands before, but I think when X came out with their Unplugged album, which was called Unclogged, when they redid like all the classic X songs, except with DJ Bonebreak doing it on Vibes, and they had Tony Gilkison playing guitar, they rearranged these songs, even like well-known X songs, as these sort of, it was just a new form of music. And when I heard that, as soon as I heard that X album, especially after listening to it when I was growing up, I was just like, wow, something is going on. And I think on some level that sort of pushed me in a direction, because once I saw like what they did with their electric music, I realized that you can write rock and roll and you can do it on acoustic, and that's sort of what we do.
Right.
Do you want to play a song off the CD studio version?
Sure. Yeah, we have a video that we're promoting as well. It's called I Fall for Everyone, and we had the wonderfully talented Zach Russo, who filmed a video for us, and it came out pretty good.
Yeah.
I've been watching that all week. I've been watching your YouTube videos all week and listening to your music on your webpage, and I think this is probably my favorite, I Fall for Everyone.
Yeah, we're really pleased with the video, because the video just sort of was a short version of our experience in looking for musicians.
Yeah.
So at the end, you know, Prince Charming's a bass player, which only goes to show.
Excellent. All right. Is there anything else you want to say about the song before we get going?
Nope.
Yeah.
All right. I Fall for Everyone. We're going to play it off the CD right now, but later after the show, I want you to go to YouTube and check out the video as well. Here we go. The Grimm Generation, I Fall for Everyone.
Crash into my drift, baby, get me while you can. Winter's taking me away, I want you to understand. Dive in and feel the shock, the haven in your hand. May last for the season, maybe a passing trend. Maybe the very reason I stay. Collide into the wild wide, visibility is poor. Red inside's been compromised, it's up to you to restore. This avalanche, doubling at your door. Wolves howl at the moon, and it's been so cold now. It's best if you just let me in. And don't you worry about a thing, baby. I fall for everyone, everyone. Don't you worry about a thing, baby. I fall for everyone, everyone. Shivering my thoughts, my lips are turning blue. A volcano under a glacier, counting on you. Reckless with my words, left abandoned during time. I just believe you won't take me out of this winter time. I just believe you warm and I'm counting on you. Don't you worry about a thing, baby. I fall for everyone, everyone. Don't you worry about a thing, baby. I fall for everyone, everyone. Don't
Welcome back to WECS. We're live with the Grimm Generation. How's everything going? Are you okay?
Pretty good.
You're not going to suffer from heat exhaustion, I hope.
No, it's not
No.
bad, actually. The fan's helping.
So let's get into Jennifer Hill and Company. How was Swan Day CT? How was that big festival?
Swan Day was excellent. We were very
Swan Day was excellent. It was really well put together. The venue that it was at, which was I believe the Cultural Center in East Hartford,
Yep.
was all set up in terms of sound, in terms of lights. Everybody there was really, just in terms of professional, it was really good to deal with.
Really great artists.
It was a great experience for us. We got to play it as a trio because we ended up playing with Dave Hogan. Dave Hogan is, when we play out, we're playing out with guitarist Dave Hogan, who's all over the record. He's an old friend of mine for years. And we got to play out as a trio under this full light show and with this full sound system, and it was an excellent experience.
It really was, and there was so many great artists there, and everybody was just really genuine and
even down to the vendors.
friendly.
I mean, the vendors were really cool. It was just a really good scene.
It was
Yeah.
excellent.
Yeah, I hope it expands. I hope it's a little bigger next time.
Yeah,
But it was definitely cool. It was on 2 floors and lots of people there. All
Yeah,
night long.
and there was just a great selection of bands from all over the place. You know, I mean, most of them Connecticut, but I mean, in terms of stylistically, there was a separate room for straight acoustic folk singer acts. There was like cowpunk. There was folk singer stuff. There
Soul.
was straight rock band. Yeah, there was funk bands. It was just a
a good
really
mix.
well put together good time overall.
My
Yeah.
goal is to have everybody down here over the next year until before the next Swan Day CT celebration. We've already had Jennifer down here.
yeah, and Canyon was here.
Canyon, yeah.
She's
So you-
adorable.
Oh yeah,
Canyon.
She was really cool.
Yeah, Canyon was awesome, as was Jen. But I mean, Canyon was the first time I saw her, and she was just really nice and really sweet. And then we saw her play, and she played beautifully, and it was just like, I can't even resent her. You know, she's just so nice. You know,
So
I
how'd you
can
hook
resent a
up?
wooden chair.
How did you hook up with her? Did you?
We submitted, when
Submitted?
she was looking for acts. We submitted and gave her our music, and the rest, as they say, is history.
Awesome, excellent. Which song did you play over there, or you played a few?
We played a set. We had a 30-minute.
Yeah, it was a 35-minute set, and we played a lot of stuff that ended up coming out on the record, some stuff that's going to come out on the next one.
Yeah, some newer stuff.
It was a really, usually for each show that we play, we sort of
Kind of figure-
create our set based on the event. So for that we were definitely thinking that's our glam rock set because we had lights. You know, so I mean, we don't get lights a lot. So
That's right, you were on the main stage there.
exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. So we played our sort of glam rock set with still just acoustic, electric, and voice, and so we played a lot of the more straight rock and roll stuff and lesser amount of the pretty stuff.
Yeah.
So,
I think we played Real Bad Voodoo that night, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Which is
Yeah,
what
yeah.
we're going to be doing next.
Awesome.
And that is also on one of our EPs, which is called The Book of Love. And yeah,
Should we do it?
sure.
Let's go for it.
I'm going to stand.
All right.
I was telling Carmen before during the break that I've seen her on a lot of YouTube videos, and she's on stage and dancing around. And I was asking her if she's comfortable just sitting here in front of a microphone in a 90-degree studio. So she's gonna get up and dance around, get a little warmer.
Don't interfere with my camera position.
I'll just,
The world must see me.
I'll sing right
Hi.
into that camera.
There you go.
Ignore the redhead. Hi. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
The thing about it is, you've made some improvements because of me. Why, those are better glasses, and I dig that cool new hat. You've given up some habits, I like you a lot like that. You'll do me favors now, ones I could only imagine. It's such a shame I've washed up under that bridge, but I started to sleep again without you, like a hippie using the side door. But it's too late, you see. I've changed a few things too, and one of those things is I'm done with you. Do you hear me? I am all done with you. was supposed to be the best, the one, my big breakthrough. And it gave me something I never really knew. It wasn't me, and it wasn't you. It was a toss of the dice, some real bad voodoo. I'm thinking twice, now I have to tell you that it's too late, you see. I've changed a few things too, and one of those things is I'm done with you. Do you hear me? I am all done with you. It's a brand new dawn, a wing and a prayer. So nobody prays anymore around here. You can do me no wrong, I want you here forever. But forever's this song. So if you don't mind, please check your hat, take off your glasses. I don't recall you like that. When I come through town, I only want to remember how it was supposed to be. How it was supposed to be, a beautiful December. But it's too late, you see. I've changed a few things too, and one of those things is I'm done with you. Do you hear me? I am all done with you. Don't y'all know that it's too late, you see. I've changed a few things too, and one of those things is I'm done with you. Do you hear me? I am all done with you. That was fun. Thank you.
Awesome. I was surprised. Your voice really is powerful. It carries. The microphone's down here at the floor, and you're standing up, and it's still coming out great.
Excellent. Good to know.
Who works on the Facebook and does all the social media?
Both of us are pretty
both of us.
active on that.
Is that helping you out to get more fans?
It has initially. Starting it off, I mean, we look. Both of us were inveterate Facebookers, and we originally took Grimm onto Facebook, which we're still there. But eventually, it's a law of diminishing results. Eventually, people get used to seeing you pass in their stream. So at that point, you have to just sort of expand out. I'm very pleased to say that we've sort of started establishing ourselves, getting our own website up, and are getting a good healthy amount of hits on our own website off of Facebook completely.
Right.
Because it's so easy to just go on to Facebook and post an event or something like that. It's something that we will still do because we have no discipline because we're children. But it's something that we both do pretty much together.
Well, it's just
for example,
entertainment.
on our Facebook wall, I mean, we put up a series of pictures that are people we sort of consider Grimm heroes.
Right.
And these are usually really hot women or men.
I've noticed that.
And
Yeah.
today, topically,
Because we're shallow children.
because of the heat, we posted the Spike Lee
Do the Right
Thing photo just because it's hot.
And that list of heroes, definitely, we go one for one. You know, I'll
Right.
do one, she'll do one, I'll do one. So, I mean, we share most of the stuff that we do within Grimm right down the middle,
That's one of-
especially including the writing duties.
That's one of the questions I wanted to ask you is what inspired you to put up all those photos up there? 'Cause you got several hundred.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And we've got a lot of things in common. You've got Dario Argento, who was a
Thank you.
director of B-grade horror films.
Suspiria.
Right?
Yeah.
I have never seen any of his films except the one that Aja was in. I like Aja.
Oh, okay.
My favorite movie, which is Bee Monkey, she's the lead in that movie.
Got me, man.
Oh, it's incredible. Bee Monkey. It's
All right,
really
I gotta
cool.
check that out.
It's my favorite. But and then you've got the Dresden Dolls, Doctor Who, Young Ones. I didn't
Yeah.
think anybody knew about the Young Ones. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, so where all these pictures come from, again, it's like everything we do. It's a great example because I mean, the people that we put up on the wall are people that were meaningful to us or have become meaningful to us. But it's not like it's terribly topical. There's not a lot of stuff that we put up from anybody who's currently in the
Right.
public spotlight. I mean, for example, Carmen put up Casanova the other day, and I had no idea who it was. You know. And then I put up any number of, I put up a couple of weeks ago from the movie Dig, I put up the Brian Jonestown Massacre because I just kept on watching the movie over and over again. So for us, we being on Facebook a lot, I mean, we see other people's things, and for us, it's entertaining to just sort of create this almost dialogue between the two of us in terms of photographs.
Right.
Everything's sort of done in photographs because apparently we're just not in enough communication. But just to sort of see what it comes up with, and it runs the gamut from horror. I mean, like, my tastes definitely run from, you know, in terms of, you know, music, and then, you know, horror movies, a lot of history, you know, so my tastes are definitely reflected in that, you know, I mean, where George Romero will pop up there, you know, and then Carmen, from her own experience, will put up things from like the 80s, you know, we'll put up like 80s stars, and something that I just sort of missed because I was, you know, busy listening to Deep Purple then, you know what I mean? So Carmen definitely has a vibe for the 80s, and
In the new wave.
yeah, and the new wave artists, yeah.
I really felt that when I was looking through all those pictures, and I was like, I'm really getting to know this band a little bit more, just
And
by
that's-
looking at the
I think
photos.
that's why we do it, and just to engage people, you know. It may stir something in someone that they forgot about, or that they like, or whatever, but it gets conversations started.
And ultimately,
which is
it
nice.
comes down
And
to the
it's
things that ultimately matter to us, which is, you know, I mean, which is
music.
music, sex, a certain amount of
And
horror,
love.
cigarettes.
Cigarettes.
You know, I mean, there's certain coffee. There's certain things that there's a theme that's running
There's definitely a
through all
theme.
of these things. You know, and a certain appreciation of art. Whether it's high art or not, I'm not sure.
It's very
You know.
artistic. It's like going to a museum and you're looking at all the photos, and it's kind of stimulates thought in your mind. That's basically what art is.
Right, and
Well, that's a
I
good thing.
do believe. I mean, I think that from what Grimm does, I do think that all those pictures are sort of part of it, because I mean, there's something about we're all, anybody who performs, anybody who writes a song is reflecting their culture, and as much as they want to imagine they're reflecting their high culture, usually they're reflecting their pop culture, you know, because classical music doesn't have words and jazz is unlistenable. So
Don't tell that to art.
So most of the people that listen, that are performing, are participating in their own culture, and for us, it's sort of that's what we do. We see Grimm as a fully realized thing, from the humor to the really dreadful, not funny parts. You know, I mean, we see it as a complete creature, and so the themes that come through those pictures are sort of the themes that run through us.
And through our songs.
Yeah, right.
Cool. I noticed that you did a cover,
Oh gosh, which one?
Bo Diddley, and I was watching
no,
it last night, and I'm like, this is so cool. 6 weeks of drinking.
Yeah, that's actually it's a Grimm Generation song, but it's in the style of
Yeah.
Bo Diddley.
Okay,
Yeah.
there we go.
But yeah, it's a great little New Year's song.
That is a really cool. And when I was listening to it, I was thinking this would be a awesome inspiration for Quentin Tarantino to do a movie.
Oh wow.
To
Thank
be
you.
to be the lead on a soundtrack, and that's basically how he started off. Is just coming up with a soundtrack and then writing the movie around it with Pulp Fiction
Yeah.
and Reservoir Dogs. I think
Yeah.
that would be a perfect song. I'm gonna call
mean,
him
Hey,
without
hey, if you
question-
can call him, that'd be great.
Yeah, without question. We've definitely
Quentin.
We've definitely have thought from the beginning that a lot of the stuff we do has cinematic qualities to it. I think because we, as opposed to telling straight narratives, we sort of we're more about like shadows and reflection than we are simply, you know, saying things fairly straight.
And we're very dramatic.
And we're very, very dramatic.
Which made me think of Dresden Dolls when I saw the picture up there too. I'm like,
Yeah, that's definitely one of Carmen's picks.
Yeah.
But, Amanda Palmer.
Yeah.
punk
a
punk
crush on-
cabaret. She calls her music.
Yeah.
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 She's
And
amazing.
And we call ours folk noir, so you
Yeah.
know
Folk
how
noir.
far away
That's cool.
is that?
I like that. I like it when bands come up with their own genre. What do you want to do next?
I think we're gonna try something slower and prettier. You want to
Sure.
try Hover?
Sure.
This is a song that this was actually one of the first songs that we wrote. So now about a year or more ago, and this is one of the first examples of Carmen giving me a poem of hers, and then just me being lucky enough to find a couple chords that went to it, and it was sort of, this song was probably one of the ones that sort of started what we're doing now, and we've actually had a lot of people appreciate it So this is a song that Carmen wrote called Hovering.